sister, forget me. My soul is frayed. I came here for glory, for shiny things. Out here in the wild, the curse is king. My demons can take me upon their wings. My sorrow now has me, no freedom rings. The kings back home have left us here, so we are now governed by only fear. We have become wicked, no soul left clear. I have become monstrous to dry my tears.
Hold there! Saints above, you startled me. Sorry about the pistol. Few wander this far into the woods at night, between the Paniran patrols and monsters, not to mention the... did I say something strange? You look confused. What do you mean you are not from here? You are not from Ycewich? You are not from Wildland? Explain yourself, stranger. I see, so you don't remember anything. How you came to be here, or where here even is. If that is true, I am sorry. You must be scared. Come, sit. I will try to introduce you to the circumstances you now find yourself in. Just remember I am armed, and would rather not be robbed. I am Johannes Denis. I suppose you do not remember your name. Very well. What should I call you? I suppose that works. I will just call you Stranger, then. Yes? Good. So, Stranger, I was born here in Ycewich, the Wildland. So, I'm sorry. It is a little hard to know where to start. Yes. 200 years passed. The old country, empires across the sea, sent explorers out in all directions on ships. Many places were found, but this place, the Wildland, looked promising. The continent was large, resource-rich at a glance, no native population to speak of. Not that it would have deterred the expanding empires back across the oceans. The crew that found Wildland failed to detail in their reports that they never disembarked their fair vessel. Not a one of them stepped foot on the land. They returned home with stories of a quiet continent with trees and mountains and rivers. Well, the nations across the sea jumped at the chance. 10 nations claimed the Wildland and together drew up maps of how they wanted the continent divided once ships arrived. Of course, the maps were inaccurate as they were drawn by Picathe liars who never even walked the land. If they had, things may have been different. Picathe means bastard in Isian. Sorry, I will try to stick to merchant speak, yes? When the ships arrived, hundreds of people from those 10 nations took their first steps onto the land that was promised to them. There was a beautiful silence to this place before we were here, or so I've been told. But then the silence ended. Screaming, awful screaming, all around as each person was branded. It is a mark, see? Mine is on my wrist. Some are in worse places, but it burns, it hurts. No one knew what had occurred, but we all came from pious and good nations. Many guessed some devilry was afoot, but we persevered. Maybe our pure souls and the love of the saints would save us. It didn't take long for babies to be born and then branded by the land, and soon we learned what the marks were. Mine means greed. I like to gamble. I guess the saints saw that and marked me as a baby with this hellish sign. Some mean pride, wrath, cruelty, lust, deceit. If we keep doing our favorite sinful act, our soul breaks, then our body changes. We call them sin beasts, hulking monsters representing the sins many of us are too attached to. They are bloodthirsty monsters. And when news made it back to the old country, they cut us off, blockaded us in. We are trapped on wildland now. Of course, they still demand we load their ships with food and lumber and whatever else. And they still bring guns to their people. Although Ycewich's parent nation doesn't. I am from Ycewich, where you now sit, the smallest nation on the wildland. We had to walk from the coast to build our little land once. Even despite the curse, Ycewich was a proud place. We are kind and caring, hard-working. We would walk to the coast to send supplies back to Ysestria. No matter the distance or danger from beasts lurking in the woods. However, that has all changed. Panera, the nation to our north, stormed our borders. In one night, they took the border towns. By the next week, with muskets and blades, they took our capital. Our proxy king's head removed from his shoulders. They have occupied our country for 10 years now. Her Majesty's army is brutal. They burn our towns. They slaughter any dissenters. The taxes, I mean... Why do you think I am in a camp in the woods and not a house? Anyways, we were a peaceful people. Our army has been extinguished. Our churches have been burned as a last disrespect to the saints. Our spirits were broken until he showed up. Alexis de Forste, the bastard son of our dead king, began to gather the people, making deserters into musketeers and barkeepers into spies. He even recruited amongst the wicked, those with the plague who can weaponize their disease, those who can control animals, people who have summoned demons from the three hells, heathens who cast vile sorceries, pyromantic warlocks who can ignite gunpowder from distances away, those who speak to the true gods of Wildland. The Panerans call it the Bastard Rebellion. Alexei calls it her rebellion, though he's vague about who she is. Our people smuggle, steal guns. We use bows and bear traps. We use magic and the powers of the saints themselves. Anything to gain an advantage on their massive force. There are even tales that some members of the rebellion cannot die. At least not for long. Between the Between the Reaper's March, the plague I mentioned, the Peniran occupation, the curse, the monsters that already wander these woods, we have become a new people. Ycewich is at war. We strike from the trees, we poison, we trap, we sin. Fencers, pistoliers, highwaymen, hunters, spies, priests, and witches. All so we can have our home back. Of course, not everyone is in the rebellion. Many oppose it. I am in the rebellion. I am a spy of some sort. Just don't tell anyone, yes? The rebellion was growing for a while during the 7th year of occupation. Alexei had supposedly returned home from a trip to the nation of Topono, up north, where magic is already a crucial part of their military. Hells, if you believe the stories, their queen is supposedly an ancient child-eating witch. He had gone there to learn more of this land, to understand the darkness at the core of Wildland, summoning demons, magic, pyromancy, the curse. Of course, he was the bastard son of our leader, so it's not like he was going to inherit anything. I suppose he was just looking for purpose. When he returned, he was walking through the town of Albernat, up north. He saw a Peniran soldier beating someone. Apparently, the man had failed to say a Peniran blessing instead of thank you or goodbye. So Alexei climbed upon a table and began to incite a riot, reminding the people of who we are, who we have been. He spoke the saint's prayer, which the Penirans have banned. One of the Penirans leveled their musket, preparing to shoot him. Then all hell broke loose. People fighting with kitchen knives and chairs. In the confusion, they took the nearby base and stole all of the guns before running off into the woods. In retaliation, the Penirans burned my hometown to the ground. I grew up in Bunray. Supposedly, Alexei's mother lived there, but I never knew that. We were an orchard town. We had fields that went on for as far as your eye could see of apple trees. I remember waking up, running down past the watermill. Annoying Hanush, the old drunk, chasing dogs and chickens. Any rate, I woke to the sound of screaming, the smell of smoke, gunfire. I ran from my home to see my mother hanging from a tree. My little brother was nowhere to be found. My father had been shot by our front door. I saw Peniran soldiers defiling my neighbors, executing families in front of their children. I took my father's pistol that he had hidden when he deserted from the army, and I shot their commander. Then I ran. As I am sure you have noticed, Ycewich is a cold country. Would you like my jacket? Your clothes don't look particularly warm. Whatever you say. But as I was saying, Ycewich is a cold place, and the forests are dangerous at night. Monsters that were here before we arrived, and the monsters we have become. I had no shot, no powder, just an empty gun. turned around to see if the soldiers were chasing me, and I slipped, falling into the river. When I emerged on the other side, I was freezing to death. I lay beneath an ash tree, waiting to die, when I see someone in the distance, hidden by fog, tall and deathly thin, wearing old bones, antlers adorning his head jutting out of his greasy black hair. He spoke with the voice of the woods. When words left his lips, all the birds cried. The evil of the forest roared, wolves howled, rodents screamed. He told me that I would not die yet, and then he vanished. I woke the next morning to a pistol aimed at my forehead. Alexei and his people had come to rout the Peniran soldiers, but they were too late. He took me to their fortress and nursed me back to health. I became his spy that day. For my mother, my father, my little brother, wherever he may be. If the saints are kind, I hope he is long gone. I'm sorry you had to find yourself here, of all places, stranger. This is not a kind land. Tell you what. You can share my camp tonight, and if you come back again, I will, tell you more. Whatever you wish to hear about, yes? Glad to hear it. No one should be in Wildland alone. Saints help us. Ycewich Saints is a narrative fiction audio drama produced by Livewire Stories, written by Gwen Fullman. Johannes Denis is played by Gwen Fullman. The music you heard in this episode was produced and performed by Gwen Fullman. If you like this show and want to support us, then we would be honored if you would join our Patreon. For $2 a month, you get access to episodes a week early and several other benefits. You can also follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, or join our Discord server in the description below. The best way you can help us out is to show this to a friend. Thank you for listening, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters for all they do.